Hi, welcome to another episode of Hot Takes. And not all heroes wear capes. There is a campaign group in Worcester. They're a very patriotic campaign group, and they are on the hunt for illegal immigrants who've been moved from a local hotel to houses of multiple occupancy. The council are trying to remove them out of this hotel and put them into the community so that they're better able to abuse children, one would imagine. And this is despite the safety fears, this is despite the objections to the locals, but the members of an online community called Patriots for Worcester have gone so far as to stake out these properties in the West Midlands, in Worcester, in a bid to raise public awareness and to act as a safety group for women and children in the area. Of course, there's a counter group, Worcestershire Against Hate, which can also be called Worcestershire Pro Child Rape, that has said that this group could compromise the safety of asylum seekers in the area. Yes, but the illegal immigrants compromise the safety of women and children. So you have to ask yourself, those people who are objecting to the Patriots, they are pro-rape of children? I mean, I don't understand why anyone would think that was a good idea. But that's how they are. It is vigilantism, of course. But since the police won't police, and the courts won't court, and the justice system is against the Brits, well, we have to take justice into our own hands, it seems. Well, at least that's what they think. I agree with them. I'm not condoning their behaviour. Of course, that would be quite wrong, and I don't want to knock at my door. But I understand why they're doing it. After all, when, say, a High Court judge releases an illegal immigrant who rapes a child because the prisons are full, and yet that same judge locks up a 20-year-old for expressing an opinion on Facebook, you know that the justice system isn't working for Britain. It's working for Johnny Foreigner. Often those who are coming over to do terrible things to children. How long before we have enough and that there are vigilantism groups all over the country? Let's see the police deal with that. If you have 20,000 people outside a hotel or something and they send half a dozen policemen along, I don't fancy the chances of the policemen making too many arrests, do you? And that's what it's coming to. Of course, the real enemy are not the immigrants. Let's be clear. It's not the immigrants that are the problem. The problem is a government that won't stop them, and then these counter groups that go, oh no, think of the illegal immigrants as they're fucking your children. That's the problem. You get those, and they're all going to be middle-aged, white, middle-class Tarquins, aren't they? They're not going to be people who actually live at the pointy end of watching your society fall apart through crime and fear. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know why they think it's a good idea to counterfight this. It's not a very good look, you know. We see every week after week after week after week after week, all these people up in court for doing terrible things. If they're not killing people or raping people, there's just general low-level crime. They shouldn't be here at all. And we've got a government complicit in it. In fact, I would go so far as to say that our government are actually pushing the agenda of what is happening in this country. Certainly, they're not stopping it, and they could. And the courts, well, as I say, they're acting against the interests of Britain. The courts are actually part of the problem. They are the enemy, in the same way as the police are the enemy. And that's who the enemy is. Poor bloody immigrants. I mean, really, they should just be thrown out for their own safety. Let's be honest. If they weren't here, they wouldn't be a problem. But unfortunately, we've got, like I say, a government, a police force, and a judiciary that seems to think that, it's okay for our children to be raped, but if we complain about it, we're the bad guys. Knock yourself out. Let me know what you think. Thanks very much. Goodbye.